the mess. Okay. So Maurice and Umi have been so gracious to join me today. We're talking about parenting without yelling. And I was like, let me see if I can get them to come and talk to you folks so you can know that this is actually like a thing. Like you can actually raise kids without yelling. And so Maurice and Umi we're going to go over 10 questions that I came up with. And I'm forcing them to answer the questions because I can, right? So Maurice, you going first.
Yeah.
Why did you sign up for the 6 week program, Maurice? Why did you sign up?
I was supporting my empress back here.
I love it. I love
You
it.
were
Look at
just
that. Look
supporting me.
No, no, listen, listen.
at
I
that.
was supporting her, right? But honestly, though, we both wanted to commit, you know, to just better parenting.
That's
Period.
right.
Because we don't have all the answers. I'm finding out the more that I learn, the less I know. So
Ah, but you know what they say though, Maurice. I'm glad you said that. That's a new one. I'm going to write that down. But you know what they say though, like if you could have done it by yourself, you would have done it already. So
right.
it takes a great deal of self-awareness to know that look, I can't do this thing. Let me ask for help. Especially as we
Hmm.
get older as adults, we don't like to ask for help too much. So
Mhm.
that's a good thing. So what about you, Umi? Umi, what do you have to say? Why did you sign up for the 6 week program?
I signed up because I'm the primary, well, I was the primary yeller um, to our 12-year-old. And I saw myself in him when I was 12 being yelled at. And for me, it wasn't cool then. And so now I identify that it's not cool now. And because that's all I knew growing up, I didn't know how to stop.
Right.
Wow.
So I reached out to you because I wanted to learn techniques on how to stop yelling and find better tactics to communicate with our children.
Wow, that's powerful.
Both of
Well, look at Maurice looking at like, ooh,
both
that's
of
my baby girl
Ah.
shining. She's trying to be, oh, Maurice, we talked about this. Maurice, we talked about this. Look at that, look at that, look at that.
them.
I
No,
love it. But y'all, for real though, I know you're watching them. This is every day for them. Like every time I watch them, I say, oh, you guys are just so in love. I love it. And so it is important as parents that we
Oh, yeah.
model the behavior. So these two, I'm always asking them to get a room. For 1 hour, we have to hang out every Tuesday, and I have to ask them to get a room. I mean, what is that? Like, so this is real. This is real Black love. Okay, truth be told, what did I tell you guys to do? Did I tell you guys to sign up for Black love or did I not?
you did, you did.
I'm always
Yeah.
telling to stand up for Black women. I just love that they love each other and they're Black. Excuse me, it is what it is. So, but thank you. So you signed up essentially because you saw the need to put an
Yes.
end to your,
Of course.
and then okay, very good. So, what do you think? Do you think it was worth it in time and in money to sign up for the program? So, Maurice, you go first. You think it? Well, actually, no, Umi, you go first. Umi, was it worth it in time and money to sign up for this program?
Right.
Excuse me. It was uh, it was absolutely worth it in time because yet granted we only get 24 hours in a day. We spend so much of that time doing so many other things that we don't dedicate it to the things that are most important.
You better talk.
We allow, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow or I'll fix it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and something else jumps in the way from you doing anything about it.
You better
So
say that.
Man,
it
preach.
was imperative for us to sign up with you so that you can help us do better. And you've done exactly that. And as far as what it costed, all I can say is we're blessed. I'm thankful that we had the means to
Oh, I
but
say
to
yes.
I don't want to say purchase or I want to say donate
Mm.
to your
How
time.
about how about invest?
There you go. Invest. Invest.
How
Yes.
about invest? Because it's an
Yes.
investment.
It
And you know
is.
the funny
It
thing
is.
about it, this investment is going to multiply and multiply.
Exactly. It's going to continue.
Yes.
Granted, the fiat amount will decrease from your bank account, but in in return, we get a multitude of increase on how we act and develop better habits with our children. And for
That's
that,
Doc,
it was essential to have this time with you.
I
may I,
love it. Maurice, what you want to say, bro?
real quick, I just want to say it's all perpetual.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, it's deep.
Uh, yes, that's it. We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it
Love
there.
it.
Look
You
at
know
Doc.
what? Let me
Look
tell you,
at
I love smart Black people. We're going to the White House, y'all. Okay, so this is so
Oh,
cool. Like I love it. I just love it. It's perpetual.
I got something to tell you since
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
the
Okay,
White House.
okay. 1 second. So Maurice says it's perpetual.
yeah.
Umi says it's essential, and then
Yes.
Umi also says it's imperative. Don't you just like it when my folks just spit big words? I love it. Okay, fantastic. And
Stop,
then
Doc. Cut it
okay,
out.
so Maurice, this is for you because you didn't know me before 6 weeks ago, but Umi did. So Maurice, why did you specifically sign up with me? Because you could have gotten this wherever. Because Umi was already listening to podcasts. She was already, working on. Why did you, Maurice? Why did you sign off on this with me in particular?
Okay, because see, this one here, she's a Secretary of State. You understand what I'm saying? All right. She don't have to be the president. I can be the president. She can be the one running in the back. You understand? So if she said you were good, I trust her word. She ain't got
Oh,
no
good.
reason to lie to me.
Oh my goodness. Now some people will say if you're the president, she's the vice president. But what do I know? Okay, let's just keep going. Let's go with the Secretary of State.
Trust me, she got way more power as secretary. Anyway, we ain't gonna get into that. But
I,
yeah, yeah.
I don't
She
know
said
anything
you
about
good money,
politics.
Doc. She said you good money with me.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I wanted to know because, and I say this, I'm going to say it again for those at the back. A lot of people don't think about like the worth. A lot of my clients, when I tell them how much I pay, they say, "Oh, let me go check with my husband." But Umi said yes. Then she told her husband. You see the difference? And then just
Why
like
you
the
think I married her?
exactly, because she's wiser. Because if you want a smart person, you get a Black woman. Period. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Oh,
Yes, and
Doc, we're
then
not here for that.
I know. Well, hey, you went there. You went there. And but here's what's critical though.
Mhm.
Umi made the decision on her own, and then she told Maurice, and Maurice was like, "If you say she's good, she's good." It's almost like many, many, many years ago, a certain woman ate the apple and then gave some,
And
and
then something happened,
and
and
then
here
their
we are.
eyes were open, and then they could sign up for the coaching call, Connie. So we're just gonna leave that there. So so Umi, this is for you. Umi, how was the original master class? How was it? The original,
That was a good
the
time.
2 hour, the one that we did for 2 hours. Y'all couldn't keep your hands off of each other that day
What are
either.
you talking about?
No, that's not true.
True.
We was behaving.
Yeah.
We was
Yes,
no,
I
we were
know.
tuned in. We were tuned in and
Yeah.
listening, because listening to other parents who participated in previous classes or coachings with you, they also gave us some tools and tips that we weren't aware of.
Yes.
And because of that, it it can it continued to solidify the need for the coaching with you, as well as that there was a need to make changes.
Hmm. Wow.
So the
Maurice,
class
man.
was helpful.
I
I
love it.
did good, Doc.
You did great, man. You didn't do good. What's good? What's good got to do with it? You did great.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
You did
Oh,
great. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
yeah.
We had a full house. We had like 40 people in the room. Like 40 people. And everyone was just spitting. We had the mom with the baby girl who had painted on the doors or whatnot. We had the doctor lady who came. We had my friend Kwavi who talked about her teenage sons. Then we had the other family members. It was so good. It was a room full of, like you said, people who were sharing with each other and just helping just to kind of elevate each other. The vibration was so good that day. So I wanted to know, because I haven't really asked you, how was it? I never really asked you, how was that 2 hour? Because I thought it was 2 hours, but it was good. It was really good. Like we
It
kept, it
was.
was good. Oh, thank you so much. So we're going to do another one. So how long had yelling been a problem in your home? Part one. And part two, how long have you been ready for a transformation? We're going to go with Maurice. Momo.
uh, long enough. How about that?
Oh, I love it. A man of few words, long
How
enough.
about
I love it.
that?
I love it.
Doc, honestly, you remember I shared, it was either last session or the session before last, that I knew consciously what I was, anything I've said to our son, right? Fussing, yelling, whatever, then had to jack him up, all of that. It was conscious. It wasn't like, I don't know. No, I knew what I was doing, but at the same time, talking with her, she's like, listen, some got the levee's about to break. So
Mhm.
what we gonna do? We go repair and fix this dam, or once they break and what does a levee hold? It holds water.
Mm,
Water signs for emotions. That's a lot of emotions being poured out, right?
mm.
You know. So once we made that conscious decision, she made it. I saw she was serious about it. She is serious about it. Remember I told you she was doing the work beforehand.
Yes, before, even before, yes, she was. But you know the beautiful thing about that,
Mhm.
most people think that we're gonna get help when we have a problem. But she already anticipated that, look, we don't want to wait until the levees break, like literally speaking. We don't want to wait until the levees break or burst or give way before we ask for help. So that is so much vibration and energy in that, because she was self-aware and
Yes.
she was allowing herself to be vulnerable enough to lean in to help, because a lot of people signed up. First of all, 90 people signed up for that. Only a
Okay.
third of them should. Yes. Everybody can say me, pick me. But when it's time for action, then you kind of separate the sheep from the goats, like literally speaking. So she was not playing. She didn't even wait. See, that's the thing. Umi, for those of you watching, Umi actually made me, she made me teach the class. I wasn't going to teach a class. I just wrote an article. She saw the article. She sent me a message, said, "No, no, 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 no." I'm like, what? Okay, I'm going to teach a class. Okay. She was like, here's my money. She was like, here's my money. I was like, okay, she's serious. Okay, I'm going to teach a class. Like literally, you made me teach the class. I'm trying to,
Wow.
I'm looking at my phone just to see if we have any questions. So if you're on Facebook and you have any questions, please kindly, I want to, let me turn the volume down. If you're on Facebook and you can hear me and you have any questions, just please ask the questions and we'll take the, boom. Okay. So please ask me any questions, type on any questions in the chat and I'll take a look at them. So yeah, so I was so proud of her. She actually motivated me to teach the class. I was like, if this one person, the good book says that when you go, if you can find one person who believes, then the city is worth saving. Umi was like, me, I'm in, even before I did anything. So Umi, thank you. So the next
Thank
question is,
you.
did having, Umi, this is for you.
Okay.
Did having Maurice buy into it? Did that help further propel you? Since we're going to big vocabulary today, propel you into doing this. Did having Maurice buy into it? How important was Maurice's buying into this whole thing, into the process, since you are the primary yeller?
It wasn't, it was important to have him take part in it only because if I'm doing it, he needs to do it too. So that way we're on one accord. And then that way, as parents, we show our children that we are united, you know, because
Keep a straight face with Maurice. Maurice, can you just let me focus? Like this is we're on national TV, Maurice. Like seriously, can you just help a sister focus?
Yeah, okay,
Ay,
I got
ay,
you,
ay.
sis. You got
Okay.
it. You got it.
What is it making faces? Look at Martin, looking like Martin up in there. They're going, Maurice, please. Okay, so
Stop. Stop. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom. Go
No,
ahead.
no, that's okay. So, but Umi, I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying because it's like having a united front was
Yes, it was
important for you.
important.
A lot of people don't realize, you know, and then people, some people do, some people don't. Like, oh, I'm a try to do it by myself, and then but you were like, no, we're going in this together, or we're not, because we have a child together. And by the way, if you're wondering, I'm going to put on my serious face now. Maurice and Umi have a 12-year-old son, and then they have a toddler. And the issue, the power struggle, so to say, was been between the 12-year-old son and his mother, which is very classic and is very normal. And I say, Umi, it's normal for the little boy to be smelling his armpit right about now, because that's what they do at 12 years old. So, but it's for you, who is the adult, to always stay in that control zone so that you are always the strongest energy in the room. And the way to look at it is, look at it like you're driving a car. And I stole this from my coach, Stacy. You're driving a car, okay? Umi or Maurice, whoever is driving the car, the person who is driving the car, no matter what craziness is going on around you, you have got your eyes on the road.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how noisy, you're like, shut up, y'all, I'm driving. But your eyes are on the prize. And so that's what's going on. And so we have some comments here. So Miss Chinwe says, for me, she has no questions yet. However, she's really enjoying what she's learning right now. And she says, I love you guys, you rock. Hey, all
Thank
right,
you.
let's get some snaps from Miss Chi Chi. All right, Chinwe. And we have some other people watching. That's good. But just so you see that, you know, people are appreciating this. And that's what I told you guys. So you guys need to start your own business and start coaching parents. That's what I told you to do. Because y'all really, you really tapped into the energy and it's working for you. So the next question is, Maurice, we're going to start with you. Maurice, how did yelling make you feel? How did yelling make you feel? That's part
Come
one.
on. Oh,
And then the part two is, how did yelling make your child feel?
yelling as a parent, I mean, it's kind of neutral feeling. I might have displayed anger, but I wasn't necessarily angry, although I might have sounded that way every time. Now, sometimes I ain't gonna lie. I was, you know, it was flame on. You
No,
know, I
no,
was hot.
no, Maurice.
No,
My question is, how did yelling make you feel? Not how did you feel before you yelled?
no, that's
Yeah. How does yelling, when you yelled at your baby, how did it make you feel?
at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it was neutral.
Neutral.
It was
Okay.
a numb feel. It was you know it was a neutral feeling.
I know you said neutral earlier on, then you said anger.
Right.
No, I don't think you mean anger. I thought you meant, I heard you say neutral the first time. And that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody's gonna feel kind of weird about it, but neutral is good. It's a feeling. What about, and we're going to come back to you, Maurice, in a second, but what about you, Umi? Umi, how did yelling make you feel?
Hurt,
Hmm.
frustrated,
Hmm.
confused, um, detached,
Hmm.
and unloving. And it wasn't yelling doesn't come, in my opinion, for me it didn't come from a place of love. You know, growing up you hear, i I love you more than you know, or I do this because I love you. And really that's not it's not an accurate statement. That's not yelling or giving out spankings or whoopings or whatever we call them. That's not from a place of love, because you're harming them.
Hmm. Umi, can you say that again for those at the back, for the Nigerians that are listening? Because I was raised in, and you guys, if you don't know, I was raised, and I like to say I was I was born, bred, buttered, and slightly burned in Nigeria. Okay. So I was raised in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, honey, whooping is mainstream. And he's like, wait, how do you love me? And it's funny he said that, Umi. I'm gonna read a text that my eldest son sent to me maybe last week, maybe last week. This little man is this little man is 22 years old. On November 14th, I got a text from out of nowhere at 10:05 in the morning, as God
Mhm.
is my witness.
Mhm.
Mom, I have to know this. How were you able to hit us as kids? Didn't you see how afraid we were? How could you instill pain on us knowing we were so afraid? My 22-year-old son had that to say to me on November 14th on a Saturday at 10:05 in the morning, just randomly at 22. So
Mhm.
if you're listening to me and you're thinking that paddling your son or your daughter, yelling at your kids, whatever combination of love, true love you want to show by not sparing the rod and all that, if you're wondering if it has any impact on your kids, hopefully that will help you. I'm a parent that keeps it real. So here's what I said to him at 3:16 when I saw it. I said, that's how I was raised. And then I said, I'm so sorry it happened. Most of us parents think it's the way to raise our kids.
Mhm.
Maurice, do you agree with that? Umi, do you agree with that? This is what I said to my son. You know, I'm going to take a screenshot of it and I'm going to post it because I want people to know that I'm a very, very hands-on and I keep it real 100%. Like I just feel honestly in my heart that I'm not going to preach what I'm not going to like I practice what I don't. Is that a word?
Yeah, you
You
practice what
What
practice
I
you
don't
what you
preach.
practice.
preach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
preach what I don't practice. So this, when I tell you guys that I used to yell at my kids and I felt so bad, it's the same child, this one that thinks he's all grown, right? The same one that asked me that same question. That's the same one that told me that they were disappointed, because oh well, mom, it was good that you left dad, you left an abusive marriage, but all you did was yell at us. Like I'm talking about when you raise a child and you empower them, they will tell you, they'll call you and say, Mom, why did you do that?
Mhm.
And so Umi and Maurice, you guys saw, without even seeing my son's text, you saw that this can happen in real life to you by your kids. You saw that. And you lean into that, you know?
Mhm.
So the next
Mhm.
question is, thank you so much for coming to that. I'm just so excited, honestly. So the next question is, how did yelling make your child feel? Maurice, you want to take a jab at it?
I don't need to take a jab. I can tell you, it pissed him off. It hurt his feelings, but it pissed him off, and I know it pissed him off because I asked him about it. And excuse me, his contention was um, when we asked, you know, how come you're not able to let us know how you feel when we ask you, how you like give us real feelings, not answers that you think we want to hear, right? In particular, if we are happen to be getting on to you about something, why do you shut down?
Mhm.
And he's like, well, because I can't say what I want to say. Y'all yelling at me and I want to yell back at you.
Mm.
And I just looked at him and said, well, Dad, that's probably not a good idea. And I was, yeah, no, it's not. But thank you for telling me.
Mm.
And I respected him for being
I
honest.
was just going to say there's a lot of respect. I was just going to say that. I said that's respect. And a lot of parents don't realize that respect begets respect. And a lot of African parents, Nigerian parents, they think respect my child. What kind of bullshit is that, Dr. Lulu? Like really. But
Like
respect
that in the
Yeah,
hood too.
it's like
it
that
doesn't
here
take any, yeah,
It's
it
too.
like
doesn't take anything out
that.
of you for being respectful to your child doesn't mean you're going to lower your standards or it's not going to bring you down in any way, really.
You know what we
And
forget?
it's you and your child that you love so much. Well,
We
go ahead. I'm
forget
sorry.
that
Go ahead.
our children are humans too.
Well, there's that.
Oh my God, that is so powerful. Our children are humans too.
Think about this. Everybody love Big Mama, or everybody love their grandpa, their uncle, or something, right?
Mhm.
How does Big Mama treat you? Did Granddad fuss at you? Was Unc fussing at you? Was your favorite auntie fussing at you?
Well, for
No.
some, maybe.
For some, maybe. But my thing is, though, let's go back with Grandma.
Mhm.
Grandma, she feeds you, clothes you,
Loving.
loved you. So
Yeah.
she did all of that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. You had grandma's respect. You weren't gonna do nothing crazy. You certainly weren't be about to talk crazy to Big Mama. Not
Mm-mm.
to her, not to no other
Mhm.
adult in front of her, right?
Mhm.
You won't make it to tomorrow now.
Right?
That's
You won't. Nah, you
Right.
won't. You're not gonna make it to tomorrow.
you won't make
That's
it to tomorrow. That's for sure.
But that's because she not her daughter or her son, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, your child is like, nah, man, I'm not fooling with you. I want to go to grandma's house. I want to go to auntie whoever, uncle whoever, because they treat me with love and respect. But 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children don't know how to say that.
Mm. That's good. So, what about you, Umi? How do you think it made your baby boy feel when you yelled at him? Since you were the principal yeller, your words, not mine. Okay.
um I know it I know it hurt his feelings, but more importantly, he felt beat up on. So essentially I was an in-home bully, and I don't want to be that anymore. We can't teach our children, hey, watch out for bullying at school or through the internet, cyberbullying and all of that,
Create environment.
and then continue to I guess
Perpetuate the behavior.
fertilize the soil. Yeah, yeah.
I love, Maurice. Can I borrow your wife for a weekend or two?
No,
No, huh?
yes, we can go have
No,
coffee
I mean
and
for
hang
real
out.
because it takes a lot. Do you know what it takes? It takes a lot of vulnerability and humility to
Mm.
say the words you just said. When I tell people, I said yelling is verbal bullying. I know this. She said, and I quote, I was an in-home bully. And it's ironic that my next book is called What If My Child is a Bully? And I talk about the making of a bully. Because everybody says, oh, he's a bully, she's a bully. Nobody wants to say, how did we make that child? That child was happy at 2 months old, happy at 2 years old, and suddenly the child is 12 years old and they're a bully. And it's like, oh, how did he become a bully? She become a bully. And so, Umi, thank you for that great insight and great humility is what's coming. That's the word that's coming to me because it takes a lot to say that. And we have some more comments here.
Humility is good.
Yeah, so Chinwe says, my kids are with their grandparents at the moment. When we visited last weekend, her grandma told me that my daughter cries when she's being yelled at. So I'm asking, what should I do? So she wants to know what she can do when a child yells. So I think, Chima, what I'll say to you is, Chinwe, the first thing is you have to acknowledge that you yell at your child. So do you yell at your child or do you not yell at your child? It took a lot for Umi to ask for help, you know, and then for your child's grandmother to come and say that, look, your child is supposed to cry when they're being bullied.
Right.
And I know the
Mhm.
Nigerian kind of yelling is not just shut up your mouth. No, it's yelling and then they rain curses and maybe even toss the chancla at you. So it becomes, one thing leads to the other
Yeah.
thing. And then, and then the worst thing, and then they tell you don't cry. Don't let me hear you cry. So what do you want? And then they tell you don't cry, and they beat you up and they tell you not to cry. So
Yeah.
what's
Right.
the fire?
I'll keep crying and I'm gonna give you something else to cry about.
Exactly. What's that?
Yeah.
So that's bullying upon bullying, the highest order of bullying. And then you tell me you love me. And I gotta give you the side eye. Like, are you sure you love me?
Yeah, I don't want that love,
Yeah,
right?
I don't want that love, and I don't want to give that type of love anymore.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you're watching us, Umi is said something so important. She said it hurts his feelings. Then she said he felt beat up on by the woman or the man or the two people who tell me they love me the most in the world. He felt beat up. And I love you guys so much for this. And then Maurice said it pissed him off. He was mad. And then he said, I wanted to yell back, but I couldn't. So he's having to put all of that emotion in. And just like Umi said, one day the levee is going to break. And then one day he's going to be taller than you and bigger than you. And then you can't yell at him anymore. Or he's going to cut ties and say, you know what? I don't mess with my parents no more. Or whatever. I don't know. But there'll be a point when you say, Mom, you can't. And you hold your hand. And my son, one time I was trying to paddle the middle man child and he held it. And I was like, oh my God, he's
Oh
bigger than
yeah,
me.
yeah, I did that before. Called
Yeah,
the belt. Yeah, you got to. You
I
get big
didn't
enough.
anymore.
It's
I
like,
couldn't anymore. That was my
nah,
last
you ain't gonna get me.
because he's bigger than me. He's a brown sugar baby. Look at that. Like, he held the thing. I was like, uh-oh, yikes. Okay, let's do this a different way, but I'm just saying this is, I mean, I love the honesty, the authenticity in this room, because that's going to create change. We have to come out with the truth. I mean, the most important thing is I have learned from it. I no longer am subscribed to that channel. So I can talk about it because I'm
Right.
no longer a victim of it, which is
Mm.
what I'm asking whoever is listening today to do that. And so, what did you learn about yourself during the program, during the 6 weeks of the coaching? Maurice, you want to go first?
No, I'm gonna pass it to the Empress first. Go ahead, Mama. You got it.
um,
Cause it's different when y'all emote. It's a different energy. It's a way different energy.
I learned that it's possible to
Mm,
not yell. Um,
That's right.
I also learned that ultimately the yelling didn't warrant any of the results that we were looking for.
mm,
So by stopping, it's still a challenge,
mhm.
but we are making progress. Where sorry, that's the dog.
That's the
Where
family
we're
affair.
Tiptoe, relax.
you know
Wait, wait,
where
what's the dog's name? TikTok?
Tiptoe.
tiptoe.
Oh, oh my God. Okay. I don't heard it all. Okay, go ahead, Umi. Ain't no mind.
um, so again, I learned it's possible to parent without yelling. I learned that by yelling, it only creates a larger divide between us and the children. And it doesn't bring the results that we're looking for.
Maurice, man, you hit the jackpot with this one, honey.
Oh, thank you, love.
Listen,
Hey,
the
look, hey,
smartest
hey, look here.
woman after my wifey. This is the smartest woman on this side of planet Earth. I love
Oh,
you, Umi, so much for real. Like your vulnerability, and I told you from the first that your energy. I love your energy, in spite of how you were raised, and 'cause we already talked about the fact that you were yelled at nonstop up till week 4. We talked about the homework for week 4 was to talk to your mom about it. Tell your mom. I said, this is kind of such and such is what happened and how I feel right now. Come out and just talk to her and let her understand that it may not have been so good, you know, but your
mm.
energy is still so, the zenness is just so cool. I have a hard time seeing you as a yeller. I honestly do have a hard time seeing you as a yeller. But so, Maurice, what were you going to
Well,
say?
that's because it's gone now.
Yay! Love it. Love it. All right, Maurice, what were you gonna say, baby?
I was just gonna add to something real quick. And if I crunch toes with this one, it's okay.
Mhm.
Um, 2020 showed me that parents are probably the biggest hypocrites, right? And I'm gonna tell you why.
Love
I'm gonna
it.
tell you why. Hold on, it's okay. It's okay. We gonna have to hold that L, and we're gonna move past it.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
said
tell
I
you.
love it. I said I love it.
Oh, okay.
I said
Okay.
I love it.
Um, reason being is we have a last generation old school versus new school of these children or this generation. We have our issues with this generation. They want everything now. They want it microwave. We call them the microwave generation. But yet when we fuss and yell, we want microwave results.
Hmm. I love it.
However, two things. One, the easiest way to, I think, navigate this path. And this is with parenting, this is with people, whoever, just in life, is in any situation, take your accountability and then forgive yourself for whatever your transgressions might have been. Because if you can't forgive self, you're gonna be stuck. You know, and it's too much out there for us to be stuck. So accountability and then forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness. I'm telling y'all.
Okay. I love the way you began. 2020 showed me that parents are the greatest hypocrites. And that is so true. And you could have put it any better, because I have been complaining about the fact that how dare the numbers of child abuse and the numbers of domestic abuse and all that go up during the pandemic, because you're forced to stay
Ooh, it
home
was coming though.
in your fancy house by the beach, which you love so much, and now they ask you to stay home for 6 weeks and you can't stay home, and then you're beating up on your kids. And
Right.
that was just so not fair. But go ahead. What were you saying? Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh yes, I love that. That is, I think I'm taking notes, as you could tell. So I'm definitely going to use that in my write up. That is just so. It's just, yes, like, for real, parents, like, really, you love your kids. Do you really love your kids though? What
Yeah.
is the real reason why you yell? And you know what? I'm going to answer. That's not in this. That was not on my list of questions. But yeah, I do have one that says any other thing you'd like to add. But I'm going to say, what is the real reason why you yell? You have to ask yourself that. The real reason is usually not your child. Boom, I said it. So, Umi, you up. What's the real reason you used to yell?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, I had to go there.
There's no one singular reason. Uh, One, it was the same as you. I was raised that way.
Mhm,
My mom did it, and based on the stories she tells, my grandmother did it,
mhm,
and so it was my norm.
mhm,
So that was one. Two, depending on what the reason, whatever the situation was that I was yelling for, I guess in my mind it was, why did you do that, or what caused you to do that, and then you don't and then he doesn't have an answer,
mhm.
or it was just something that it was like, I can't believe you did that, I can't fathom that was your thought process.
Mhm.
And so it was, and it was easy.
It was easy.
It was
So
easy.
hold the thought of easy, because there's something that Maurice said, I think it was on week 2. Maurice said something about how he realized that your baby is 12 and he's still a child. Maurice, do you remember you said that almost every week? You said that he's still a child. And when you're coming at him with all 4 cylinders, he's
Hmm.
still a child. And so, and then you just said it. It was easy because he's still a child. I'm just going to bamboozle over this one because he's a child. But like I said during the class, if your coworker did that, you probably wouldn't yell at them. If your boss did that or your mama did that, maybe, well, if you try your mama, you might have no teeth, but you might try. But if you yell at your boss, you're gonna get fired. So
Well, now we
we do
grown,
that
so
as
we,
a kids because we can.
Sometimes the boss got to get
yeah.
Somebody said that in the
it.
class. Somebody said that, yeah, that they yelled at their boss and then they quit. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
sometimes they got to get it.
and then they quit. So we're winding down, so we're almost there. So what would you have to say to other parents who are in your shoes? I'll let Maurice start with that.
Again, uh, again, moving forward, you got to have the will and you got to have the want to move forward.
Mm,
Again, and that still goes back to that A word, accountability,
Mhm.
right? But once you take accountability, the second thing that's going to come, the second wave of emotion that's probably going to flood over you is, oh man, how could I do that? Like,
mhm,
this is my, you know what I'm saying? This is my baby, this is my child, this is my son, this is my daughter. This is my heir, my heiress, what have you. And now there's that guilt, right? So now that there's guilt, now guess what cycle you start? Now you start the self-pity cycle, the guilt cycle. Now let me go buy them something. Now what does that do when you a man and you have a son? Well, let me go buy mommy something every time. Well, I listen, man. What does that do? So these negative parenting traits, again, we were all raised a certain way. I got my fair share of butt cuttings, fuss that, what have you. For me personally, yeah, there was times it did hurt my feelings and things like that. But I got to a point where I was wise enough to understand, you know what, some of that, if I was my daddy, would I have,
Mhm.
yeah, I'd have knocked my,
I was waiting for, yeah, I might have deserved a little bit of that.
I might have deserved a little bit of that.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is a new age, new time. Us being raised like that, I don't want to say we, because it's gonna make it sound like I'm saying we built for abuse. We're not. No, nobody is.
Yeah.
But we could take them lickings and keep on ticking. Basically, we could take them butt cuttings and we okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but to all the parents out there, trust yourself. You know, trust your intuition. Uh, listen to listen to your spirit. Listen to that gut feeling. All right, whatever that little voice is for you, however it may sound, whatever it is it's telling you, if it's telling you, oh, that's not right, then it's not right. Don't act on it. If you feel yourself getting to that point where your temple is flaring, and you get that perspiration coming out of your face, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Breathe, okay? I'm gonna give y'all some life skills real quick. Guess what? Food, you can go long time without. Water, you can go a long time without, but you cannot live without your breath. We have to remember and be mindful of our breathing. When we feeling it and it's getting here, get you a 3 count, excuse me, a 7 count, whatever it is you need. And y'all just breathe. If you got to go outside and yell and you got to put you know, whoever it is outside, if you got to swing at the air like Cuba Gooden from, what I'm saying, Boys in the Hood, do something, but do not
Yeah.
yell if you can help it. It is a transition. All
Or
right.
even buy a punching bag. Now that you say it, I'm thinking, and you can even buy a punching bag, go punch a punching bag or something. What about Umi? Umi, what do you have to say to other parents who were in your shoes or who are currently thinking, I can never stop yelling. That's like my thing. That's like my jam. That's like my go-to.
They can though.
One, acknowledge it.
Hmm.
Acknowledge that you yell, and acknowledge or accept that it's a problem, and then figure out what it's going to take to fix the problem. We are all solution. I guess we're all problem solvers. So yelling is a problem, and it's something that requires a fix or a solution. Also, call Dr. Lulu.
Gotta call Doc.
Woo!
Lulu.
What you gonna do? Call Dr. Lulu. I love it. I love what you said. Acknowledge it, accept that it's a problem, and then find the solution. I couldn't have put it any better. And then Maurice says, trust yourself and your instincts. And when you feel yourself going down there, stop and breathe. If you know your
Yes.
instinct, if you're in tune with your instinct, you know when you're going down there. I love it. This is so powerful. I never know when I do an interview where it's gonna go. I'm gonna publish this on my podcast because I think it was just that powerful. Even though my podcast is about suicide, this is such a bad. I'm gonna share this on every single Facebook group about parenting that I'm in because it is so good. And look, it's almost time, and I have another thing at 7 o'clock. But this is just so good. We have one more question, which is more of Anything else you would like to add? So that's kind of like freestyle. Let me see if there are any questions. I don't see any more questions. Okay, good. So if you're watching us and you have a question you want to ask the parents, you got all of 8 minutes. So if you're watching and you
Eight
have a question,
minutes.
please type your questions. Otherwise, I'll have Umi come back and go through the comments and maybe just respond to them if there are no comments. But yeah, but so what would you, lady and gent, like to add? Anything else you would like to add?
uh, I would just say, parents, nobody has ever given us a handbook and said this is how it's supposed to go. Every situation, every child, every circumstances are either similar or they're completely polar opposites. But we always hear the phrase, it takes a village to raise children. And some of us tend to lose sight of that village because we assume that that village is supposed to be our family, the ones who helped raise us. But your village is who you make your village to be.
Your village is Dr. Lulu. I love it. This is so good.
That's right. Dr. Lulu is a part of the village, and if that's what it takes, where you have to seek out outside sources that are not in your inner circle, do so.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid. Just do it. It one thing I'll say is communicating and having this time with Dr. Lulu, it absolutely did not harm us. It only fed to us. And it you know how it says your cup runneth over. We've received an abundance of support from Dr. Lulu.
That's right.
And
And
I didn't even ask them to say that. I didn't even like ask you guys to say that. Oh my God. I love it. I have to go because I have a 7 o'clock.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no, do your thing, Doc.
You guys have been my family and you guys have been part of my family. Like, sometimes we're talking and the wife comes and show her silly face. Sometimes my little man child comes and the dog Lulu comes and show her face. And I've met your 2 kids. I've met your dog. I mean, it's been a family and a lot of good. And I get emotional. I'm a very, very easily emotional person and I'm going to cry, but
It's
I
okay.
but I want you,
Don't cry because you got to be fly for your next
I know,
session.
Come on now. Come on now, Pisces. Get it together.
That's right. That's right.
You guys, look, I've had like 10 Zoom meetings today, honey. So I'm all zoomed out.
I was
But
about to say, I
Oh,
understand.
for the two of you, thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you
welcome.
from the bottom of my
thank you.
Welcome, Doc.
Thank
Thank you.
thank you on behalf of all the parents, but more importantly, thank you on behalf of all the children out there whose parents yell at them. Thank you for trusting me with your son. Thank you for trusting you yourself with me. Is that it? Is that what I'm saying? And you're getting a lot of love. You're getting a lot of love on someone is sending you guys a lot of love. Look at all that love.
Thank you.
Respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's love.
Gratitude.
That's peace.
Just know that I love you and whenever
Love
you
you
guys
too, Doc.
want your business, your parents coaching business, I'm gonna send y'all folks because you guys have just been so exemplary.
Doc.
I can't even like I can't even put it.
Hey, we received that. Thank you.
It's all
Thank
good,
you.
Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
Oh, it's getting emotional.
All right, now you go get ready for that next
Yeah.
Zoom.
Yes, I will. I just gotta walk out the room a little bit. God, you're getting a lot of love. Look at that. A lot of love.
Oh, thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
y'all.
All right, folks. So if you're watching us on Facebook, that's really all where the only place that we are. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
My the way to reach me is on my Facebook page or whatnot. And then if you want to make an appointment, just calendly.com/Dr. Lulu, DRLULU. Calendly is CALENDLY.com/Dr. Lulu. I will not give you Umi and Maurice's information.
Make the
I will
investment.
not. But if you want to reach them, you can holler at your girl and I'll make sure that they get the information. So thank you all so very much.
You're
Peace,
welcome, Doc.
love, and soul.
Oh.
Peace, Doc.
Bye, Doc. Love you.
All right, bye.